Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. I just got off of Megan's channel. If you guys haven't already subscribed to her channel, go over there and check it out. It's called Megan F. She's a good friend of mine, and we were just talking about relapse, and we were talking about how when you're in recovery, you guys, it's important to be honest about maybe if you have a slip, but you don't have to define, hey David, you don't have to define your recovery the way everybody else does. And I agree with that. Usually I'm a real big stickler for the way 12-step fellowships do their like clean time and stuff. But what I've learned from being in recovery and from just like trying to change the way I think is that a lot of the times, especially when I was chronically relapsing, I would get really discouraged because I was slipping and going back and forth between my sobriety, right? Hey Casey, what's up? How are you doing? You're the guy that has the doctor who's giving you all that medication, right? You had a knee injury, right? Or back injury. So how are you doing? Tell me what's going on. Okay, so here I go. Let me get my thoughts focused real fast, okay, guys? So, okay. Especially when I was struggling and I was back and forth, relapse, sober, I would really struggled because I was focusing so much on whether or not I was staying sober for long periods of time, and I wasn't celebrating the moments where I was sober. I was only focusing on when I would relapse. And most of the time when I would lapse, I would only lapse for like a couple days and then I would come right back in, right? But instead of like getting right back on and getting back on track, I would focus so much on that relapse and I would let it beat me up, and I would let the shame of the lapse keep me from coming back in and saying, okay, I'm coming back to the program, right? And so what Megan was talking about on her channel was that when she's been in recovery for 11 years, but she was talking about that she's had slips in those 11 years, but she doesn't really focus on the amount of clean time that she's had. She focuses more on the fact that she's staying clean and she's focusing more on the fact that that's farther between slips, right? So eventually what's going to happen is she's going to get to a point where she's just not slipping at all, right? And these slips could be like once every 3 years or something, like one time, like maybe a pain pill or something like that, right? And so at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I was like, I understand, because I used to focus so much on whether or not I was sober for a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, right? And for someone who is slipping or relapsing, that's really discouraging because you're struggling. So you're looking at everybody else and you're like, well, I can't even get a year sober, And so what you do need to do is celebrate the time that you are getting sober. And don't focus so much on, I've got 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, right? So now what I try to do, or what I do now, because it's a damn miracle that I've been sober for 4 years straight, y'all. Do you hear me? Like, I'm fucking super proud of that shit. But I didn't look at it that way before, because I was relapsing all the time. I was what you would say, you would classify me in the chronic relapsers category. Okay, I would get sober, I might last 30 days, and then I would relapse. Get sober and relapse, get sober and relapse, get sober and relapse. And I would go in and out, back and forth. Okay, so the 4 years I've put together consecutively is super important to me right now, But if I was to slip, okay, if I had a lapse in judgment and I slipped, I would come on here and I would be honest with you guys about it. I would tell you guys, hey, this is what happened, right? But I want you guys to know that all that stuff that I learned in those 4 years that I stayed sober, that doesn't go out the door, right? I still have all that experience. And that's what I tell people that I work with who come to me and say, you know, I relapsed, Nicole. Well, that doesn't mean that everything you learned in your recovery is not there anymore. I see you guys. It doesn't mean that all that stuff that you learned in your sobriety is gone. It doesn't mean that experience is not valid anymore. All it means is that you need to make some changes because something is not balanced, right? And that's what recovery is all about, is finding balance in your life, you guys. Did you know that? Did you know that that's what your recovery is about? It's about finding balance. Hey, Misty. Hey, Hearts. Hey, Casey. Okay, so instead of focusing so much on, hey, I've got to get this year or I've got to get this 2 years, try to focus on what you already do have and making progress, okay? That's what we need to focus on, because a lot of people will focus so much. And listen, I want you guys to always be totally transparent about anything you're going through. That's really important too, I believe, is to not keep secrets about your sobriety, because what happens for me, I'm a sneaky snake sometimes, y'all, and if I keep secrets and I'm slipping and I'm not telling anybody about it, that's not good. That's not good for me, because when I think I can keep secrets and kind of hide and like get between the lines and fall through the cracks, then I'm going to start sneaking other things, okay? So that's why honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness are really, really important in your recovery. Because if you can't be honest, you guys know how many times it talks about honesty when we're reading the big book, right? In the first chapter of Alcoholics Anonymous, when we're reading, I think it is, what is it, More About Alcoholism? It says honesty, the word honesty, like over 20 times, you guys, in this one chapter. Okay, over 20 times. Honesty is a key. You have to have honesty to recover. Okay, if you can't be honest about what you're going through, then you're going to continue to struggle in your addiction, because you can't look inside yourself and pull back those layers. Okay, when we're getting sober, it's like pulling back the layers on an onion. Did y'all know that? And you're exposing all these secrets that had kept you sick for so many years, right? And so as we pull back those layers to the onion, we learn more and more about ourselves, and that's how we heal, okay? So I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys, like, if you're struggling and you're going back and forth, you're relapsing, right? If you're struggling with relapse, try not to focus so much on the time that you think you're losing, right? Because you're not losing any of your time. You still have all that experience. Don't focus on that, okay? Focus on what you are gaining. Focus on the progress that you're making in your recovery. Focus on the changes that you're making in your life to be a better person, right? Misty, the Narcotics Anonymous book was written after the AA book, and it's based off the same thing. It's just about drugs instead of alcohol. So wherever I say alcohol in the AA book, you just say your drug of choice. That's what I always do. Okay? So I want to talk to you guys. So I want to continue on about honesty, all right, and how important it is, okay? What are you doing? You know what to do. Don't come over here on this camera, boy. Okay, you know the deal. Daddy's here now. Okay. Love y'all. Okay, the 12 steps. All right, so it's, yeah, girl. So right now I'm reading out of the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. All right, you guys, so I love the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, but how do I say this? I am on Suboxone. I'm on medically assisted treatment. So the meetings that I like to do are MARA meetings, which are medically assisted recovery anonymous meetings, okay? And I'm going to talk to you guys about those meetings right now. I'm going to look up some stuff and we're going to talk about it. All right, so MARA meetings are all-inclusive meetings for people like us who are on Suboxone or Methadone and need support. They're actually for anyone who needs support, okay? That aligns themselves with the values and the here, I'm going to read to you guys the mission statement from MARA, and then you tell me if this is what you guys get down with, okay? They are newer, yes. Okay, so let's do this. MARA, Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, okay? Okay, I want to read this to you guys, so hopefully y'all can listen to this, okay? Many addicts and alcoholics have honestly desired recovery, but have not felt welcomed at recovery meetings. Why? In short, not everyone's healthy, even if they're sober. So not everyone is healthy, okay? Not everybody is recovered, even if they stopped using drugs and alcohol. Therefore, people who are currently utilizing evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel unwelcomed, okay? Medications such as methadone, naltrexone, Suboxone, buprenorphine, antabuse, Camprol, Paxil, Provigil, Remeron, Bupropion, Gabapentin, Sabril, Chemstrol, Topamax, among others, are approved by the medical community to be prescribed for various drug and alcohol use disorders. It is inevitable that there will be more medications developed which can save lives. For the basis of this group, recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. Here at MARA, you're always welcome. So recovery, in our words at MARA, is to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. So whatever you have to do to recover from an unsafe lifestyle, whether that's get on Suboxone, Methadone, any of these things, then you are welcome at MARA, okay? And let's see what Casey said. Casey said, does the Suboxone help with the pain or just the withdrawal? Anyone's advice welcome. So Casey, Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist, okay? So what you can do is they're doing studies actually now that in small doses, like 1 milligram or less, 2, 3, 4 times a day, Suboxone is being used for chronic pain. So yeah, you could go to your doctor and talk to him about it, and it can also help with any addiction issues. But don't just get on Suboxone and think it's going to save you. Get on Suboxone and get into some therapy and get into a meeting. Okay? So the 12 traditions of MARA, I want to read these to you guys. 1, as a group, we should help each other to maintain our common welfare. Our recovery may depend upon our unity. 2, our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. However, we should listen to our group conscience so long as it doesn't interfere with MARA's purpose as a whole. 3, the only requirement to join MARA is a desire to live a safer lifestyle, whatever that may be for you. See what I'm saying, you guys? Okay? Each group can run their meetings however they seem fit, provided it doesn't have an effect on MARA's mission of non-judgment recovery. So when we do the MARA meetings on Friday nights here, that's the MARA is non-judgment, all-inclusive. It doesn't matter as long as you are living a safe lifestyle. And safe to you could be different than what safe is to me. You know, MARA is extremely open-minded. We want people to not have any judgment, not walk in. Nathaniel, stop. Not walk into a meeting and feel like people are judging you because you're on medically assisted treatment. Okay? Each group has the purpose of letting other members know that if they are trying to live a safe lifestyle, they are in recovery. A MARA group should not allow money, property, or prestige to divert us from our primary purpose. Every MARA group should aim to be fully self-supporting. Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous should remain non-professional. We may employ workers in areas which provide service. MARA should be organized to the least extent possible, so our mission may be successful without controversy. Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous should be careful as to voicing our opinions, for it may cause us to be resentful at those who judge us. And so that's why, like, I'm really trying to just, like I said, you guys, I don't have an opinion on things like kratom or like those things. I don't want to get into. Like, all I can speak on is what I have done personally myself. You know what I mean? And so I'm really trying to learn how to, like, to be a little bit more open-minded, because when I first came into recovery, I was very militant, okay? I was a militant 12-stepper, all right? If you weren't counting your sobriety time, I thought you were lying. Why are you lying? Did you relapse? Do you know what I'm saying? And so now I try to look at it from a different point of view, because I do realize that beating ourselves up over lapsing it's counterproductive, you know? So it is important to celebrate the things that you see as achievements and pat yourself on the back for a good job. But don't put so much weight or stress on yourself about things, you know, in recovery. Like, just remember, keep your recovery at the forefront of your mind. Stay focused, you know, at staying sober. That has to be, for me, my recovery has to come number one, you guys. And the only reason I know this is because I've tried to put my recovery number 2. I've tried to put my recovery number 3. And every time I did that, guess what happened? I would fall and I would get high. So now what I've learned is that as long as I keep my sobriety at the forefront of my life, okay, and I practice what I preach, okay, I practice giving back to others and working with other addicts and alcoholics, I have no problem staying sober. No problem whatsoever. I'm telling you, helping other people helps me stay sober. It's probably 78% of my recovery is giving back to others. Hey, Stacy, what's up? Hello. And it keeps me motivated. It keeps me encouraged. It really does. It helps me a lot, you guys. And I can come on here like when I'm having a bad day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that too. When I'm having a bad day, I can come on here and talk to you guys. When I'm struggling, and you guys, like, I try not to get discouraged by others and let negativity, like, seep into my life. Sometimes it does, and when it does, I try to remove that from my life and keep on moving forward, right? But I'm human. I struggle too, you know? I just want you guys to know that I'm proud of all of you guys' accomplishments. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, okay? If you are struggling and you've had some falls and slips, all you need to do is get right back on track, okay? Don't focus on the slip, okay? This is what you need to do. If you relapse, if you slip and fall, if you get high, okay? Come right back to sobriety. Come right back. And then what you need to do, I'm going to give you a list of things to do to get back on track after a relapse, okay? If you relapse, number 1, tell somebody. Tell somebody. It doesn't matter who it is, okay? Just tell someone, okay? Because we can't keep secrets in our recovery. When we do that, we think we're getting away with something. You know how we are. We like to keep secrets and then get over on folks. At least I did. Manipulation. Tell somebody, okay? Number 2, come right back. Number 3. What was I saying? Oh, God. Tell somebody, come right back after you relapse. What was I saying? Oh, my God, I just lost it off the tip of my tongue. I always know what I'm going to say. Oh, gosh. Come right back. Why did I just lose what I was totally thinking of? Dang it, that pisses me off. Okay. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, okay? Let go of that shame and guilt, okay? If you slip and fall, let go of the shame and guilt. There is no reason. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Come right back, okay? Tell somebody, let go of the shame and guilt, and identify what changed in your routine that you think might have caused your lapse in judgment. Okay, so let's say that you have been going to the same meeting at 8 o'clock for the last 3 years, okay? And you've been talking to your sponsor, and you've been reading your big book and going to church and doing all these positive things. All right, let's say that you stopped going to that morning meeting and you started going to the nighttime meeting, okay? Hey, Racer, I want you to come in and I want you to identify where you made the change. Maybe you need to go back to what you were doing. Or maybe you stopped doing something altogether. Okay? Look at your routine and see what is missing. And then reevaluate and rearrange things. Okay? Because 9 times out of 10, when we have a relapse, it's because we stopped doing something we were doing before to stay sober. Maybe we were totally got rid of all those people that we used to hang out with. And maybe we ran into somebody, an old friend. And instead of saying, hey, I'm sober now, I can't hang out, we went ahead and hung out that day and we got high. Or maybe we had a medical procedure. We had our tooth pulled, and every other time we had pain pills offered to us, we said, nah, I'll just but this time we said, okay, I'll take them. And we took the pain pills and we ate them all. Okay? If you do have surgery and you're sober from opiates and you get pain pills, you need to have a plan. Okay? Give the pills to someone else. Don't set yourself up for failure, okay? Give somebody else the pills so they can give them to you as prescribed, all right, you guys? Don't set yourself up, all right? That's why it's so important for us to be transparent and honest. Because if I'm telling somebody, hey, I'm getting my tooth pulled, I got to go get some pain pills, they're going to watch me. They're going to say, okay, Nicole, I'll give you your pills, right? I'll give them to you once every 6 hours or whatever it is. I am a pro racer. Oh, I was like, what is he talking about? CBD, I've never tried that. Tell someone, come right back, let go of shame and guilt, and identify what have triggered the relapse. Right, and yeah, what triggered it and what changed. So, that's why, you guys, I put an emphasis so much on being transparent and being honest about what you're going through. Because when we're kind of sneaking around and hiding stuff and not letting people know, then that's when we start falling back a little bit. So that's why I just wanted to quickly jump on here and talk to you guys about it. Because I was listening over in Megan's live stream, and it got me to thinking about some stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope that helps you guys, in your recovery. And if you're struggling, you're not alone. There's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? Get right back on track. Do not let anybody... I used to let other people's opinions of me really affect me, you guys. Don't let that happen to you, okay? Don't let it happen to you. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about your recovery, okay? It doesn't. All that matters is that you're happy and healthy, all right? So never give up, never let go. If you guys ever need help, all you have to do is reach out to me and email me. I'll do anything I can to help you guys, okay? I'm going to get off here and hang out with my son and my husband and get my son ready for bed because we got another day of school in the morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning and I'm tired as hell. Love you guys. Good night.